the answer.
Please, Shamsi.
Shamsi,
please.
Good.
Yeah, he finished the talk in one thing. That's it.
Right, I'm done, man.
You just want to listen to me, Shamsi. I understand. I got a nice voice.
Please, sorry.
Yeah, please. So my argument was, at times Jews have been treated well under Islam, at other times they haven't. And then they brought up that Muhammad and the Jews breaking their treaty, and the Jews from 13 upwards males being beheaded. And I said, as a non-Muslim,
you make it so dramatic.
It is pretty dramatic. As a non-Muslim, I don't feel a loyalty to defend that. As a Jew, that scares me a little bit, because I can look at that historically and say, that strikes me as wrong. I can look at today, Jews still aren't allowed back to Mecca and Medina, even though we lived there before Islam. And we're not allowed back there because of what happened 1400 years ago.
I noticed Joseph,
Yeah.
even because I don't want to speak to you because I told you already the reason
The Zionists worry him.
The reason being because I'm here, of course, without any doubt, I will not. Last time I didn't shake your hand, not because you're a Jew. I shake many people's hand, they were Jewish or Christians. The reason being because you support a Zionist terrorist state. Understand? And I'm here to defend my brothers and sisters, Palestinian brothers and sisters who are suffering.
It's funny how the Jews aren't your brothers and sisters, but the Palestinians are, Shamsi.
In Islam, yes, without any doubt.
Many of the Palestinians are in Islam.
They don't mean they are, look, many people here, they're not my friends. Oh, sorry, many people here, they're not my friends, but that does not necessitate I should oppress them. It doesn't necessitate.
Okay, let's say this respectfully.
Many people here, out here, they're not my friends. Yeah. Okay? Because this term friend and a brother and sister has to be put in its places. I cannot lie to you, I said you're my brother, which I don't believe that. Okay? So it doesn't necessitate, because I don't believe you're my brother or my friend, to oppress you.
I consider you my brother.
That's what you do. That's not true.
Why am I not?
What does a brother mean?
What does a brother mean?
Yeah.
We're family.
No, it doesn't mean that.
The seed, we're from the seed of Ibrahim alayhi salam.
So we are cousins then.
We're cousins? Will you call me a cousin now, Shamsi?
So we're not brothers.
Shamsi, will you call me
I correct you, we're not brothers.
Will you call me a cousin?
What about brothers in humanity?
You're a cousin.
What about brothers in humanity?
If you're an Israelite, if you are an Israelite, if you are an Israelite.
I'm an Israelite.
Okay, so you're a cousin.
Fine.
Yeah, because I'm an Ishmaelite.
I'm an Ishmaelite.
I'm an Ishmaelite. Okay, let's go back to my point. My point here is, doesn't mean because I don't hold someone my brother or my friend, therefore I should oppress him or wrong him. Rather, I still be merciful toward him, I still help him if he needs help and everything. Let's go back to the main point that which I noticed, Joseph. Yeah. Many people use this argument about the Messenger of Allah ﷺ, try to criticize him, and as I have mentioned, no one can criticize Prophet Muhammad ﷺ except with the lies and the falsehood and deception. In Medina, they use it, the Christians use it, some people use it. But I'm very surprised how come no one speaks about when Moses in the Genesis or Deuteronomy, when he said when you enter to the city, kill every woman and every man, or kill every woman, kill every man and every woman.
Where does it say that?
Okay, let's get the Bible.
No, it's fine. Shamsi. It says that in many places, but watch this, Shamsi. No, watch. I will say that morally, I think it was wrong to to kill people based on where they lived or what their beliefs are or whether they're at war, women, children. I can say that. Most of the Muslims I speak to here will not turn around and say that. They will not say it was wrong. Mo just spent the last 15 minutes trying to defend why Muhammad was justified in beheading 13-year-old boys.
Okay, wait, Joseph, wait.
So I don't know, I just said I haven't...
No, wait. So do you reject the Bible?
I don't reject the Bible.
So who is God? Does God command to do wrong?
So again, you're moving the goalposts.
No, I'm not moving. I want to do, Joseph. I want to show the hypocrisy of some Jewish when they use the Old Testament to justify why they should be in Palestine.
I'm going to go one better than you.
I'm
going to go one better than you.
I'm showing the hypocrisy of the Jewish when they utilize the Old Testament to justify why they should be in Palestine, but on the other hand, they reject what God said: kill the babies and children. Perfect. So be consistent. Do you accept everything in the Old Testament?
So let me answer.
Take your time.
So within the Old Testament and the Quran, both books say that slavery is okay.
I'm not asking you that. No.
I know. Shamsi, let me answer it. Shamsi, if we're going to talk, we weren't talking about Shamsi, we weren't talking about the Old Testament. Shamsi, stop.
No.
Shamsi,
Bro, he comes
stop dominating the debate. We were talking about Shamsi. Look what you've done. Shamsi, look what you've done. I'm just going to point. Shamsi, I'm going to point out what you did. Yeah, we were talking about Mecca and Medina. You came along and started talking about the Old Testament. I then brought a different thing, which was the Old Testament and the Quran to make a comparison. So we've both changed the conversation. And we were talking about what happened to the Jews in Mecca and Medina. Yeah. Medina, yeah, but Medina. And what did you then come with? You then started talking about the Jews in the time of Moses, yeah? So you changed the goalpost.
I haven't. No. Finish.
So what I was going to do is, I think, Shamsi.
I'm just going to come down. Is there anyone have a pen and paper to write down the point? You said I've changed the goalpost.
No. You are answering this question by referencing my book, which we weren't doing, which is fine. You're entitled to do that in a debate. I was then responding to your point by referencing two other points in both of our books to explain how my morality works, yeah? Because you're asking me moral questions. You're asking, is this right or wrong?
I'm giving. Ask you that.
Shamsi, if we're going to talk, you have to let me speak.
But you're putting words in my mouth, Joseph.
And okay, so just let me speak and then you can respond, okay?
Okay.
All right, no problem. So, slavery is permissible in both the Quran and in the Torah.
Assalamu alaikum. From Singapore.
And in both books, it's legitimate. Muhammad kept slaves. Muhammad also freed slaves.
I don't want to.
Shamsi, stop running around. Focus. Focus, Shamsi.
I want to focus, but as long, get paper. Because why you must.
It's going to run out, and then it's just going to be down to the Dow channel.
Don't be scared. I'm going to write down the points. So slavery, both of them. Okay, let's do all this. Slavery, both of them rights.
Both books.
Yeah, that's how do some people.
This is new.
No, it's full. But you know,
it's full.
Anyway.
There's too much debating.
All right, go on.
Let me make my point. It's distracting. So, both books say slavery is permissible, but bacon is forbidden. Yeah? So when you speak to Muslims, Jews, Christians, many will do intellectual acrobatics to explain why back then slavery was okay, but why now maybe it isn't. But no Muslims, Jews or Christians will ever say that it's morally wrong to keep slaves. I will say, my belief is it's morally wrong to keep slaves, and the only people I ever meet who try to defend the institution of slavery are religious people in all of our camps. I argue with Jews about this, I argue with Muslims about this, and I argue with Christians about this. So for me, I follow the Torah because it's my ancestral tradition. It's what my people follow. But I have been conditioned by the society that I've grown up in, and today, slavery is frowned upon. And I look at slavery as wrong. I look at the ways we fought wars back then as wrong. I look at the death sentences, and I look at my rabbis, and my own rabbis looked at them. And so basically in Judaism, you have similar death penalties to it within Islam. And we have how Jewish law works is, in each generation, the rabbis are allowed, which the Quran says, the rabbis are allowed to define what the law is. And so you would imagine the most moral thing you can do, the most just thing you can do, the most merciful thing you can do as an Orthodox Jew is put somebody to death for a sin that they may have committed. However, 2,000 years ago, our rabbinic courts longer than that, put huge provisions in place to make it virtually impossible to carry out the death sentence. Why? Because the moral philosophy that drives Judaism, which moves beyond the little details that you're picking up, is actually one of liberation, is actually one of minimizing. Just like when you speak to any very knowledgeable Muslim like Shamsi.
I'm not knowledgeable, by the way.
I like complimenting you, Shamsi. You're well dressed and knowledgeable with a nice suit.
You know, the one-eye guy, what is he? King in the Kingdom of Blind. Yeah. I'm one-eyed person.
And so what I was trying to say with that is, and so no, absolutely, I won't cut you. And so from my position, and the Jewish position, we've always interpreted our text and made moral calls. When Chazal, the rabbis who decreed it, made it virtually impossible to put someone to death, they did that because they didn't want to put people to death, even though the Torah says this is what you should do. And I'm no different. So I think slavery is moral. I think capital punishment is wrong. And despite both of these institutions being within my book. So hopefully that clarifies my position.
It hasn't, to be honest, because you, Joseph, I have respect. It's like someone asking him, what is your name? And he said, my father goes Jim. That was not my question. Your father go gym or doesn't? That's not my question.
I said it was.
So no. So remember, according to what he said, was he dealing with my discussion or he went off?
To me, it was clear. He was saying that it's morally wrong. Capital punishment is wrong. Slavery is wrong, and things have moved on. It's basically.
So did I talk about slavery?
Pardon?
My discussion was not about slavery.
No, but you asked him about.
No, my question was when God said to kill, was he right or wrong? That was a clear question. Even a baby can understand it. However, because I give him time, so let me go back. Slavery. First of all, in Islam, the Messenger of Allah won't against slavery. Let me put it in the brackets. The transatlantic slavery. Okay? In Islam, this term, me myself, I don't like to use it because when you use it in our time, can easily be misunderstood. Okay? The Messenger of Allah said in the hadith, which is in Bukhari, he said, Allah will be the opponent of a person goes and take a person, a free person, and enslave him. And it's exactly what the transatlantic was based upon. Going to Africa, taking a free man and enslaving them. In Islam, we have something called al-riq. What is al-riq? Is the war. When there is a war between two countries, legislative war. Not the war of some group of people coming together, killing innocent people in train, in the buses. No. Legislative war. Then, the outcome of war, then you are allowed to take the hostages. We call them war hostages. So this term slavery, if the European followed Islam, they wouldn't get involved in the evil slavery, which is in a bracket, transatlantic slavery. Okay, however, they utilize the Bible to justify that. Because that is in the Bible, not in the Quran. Because there is no verse in the Quran. Likewise, there is no narration, from the Messenger of Allah stating that we should go and enslave the people. There is none of that. There is none. Rather, what is in Islam, that you get a reward when you free someone who is taken as a war hostage. And again, in a war, there's a free choice for the leader, for the Muslim leader. Either he can take them as a war hostage, but the Messenger of Allah said, take care of them just as you take care of yourself. Treat them the way you treat yourself and your family. Or we can exchange them with the other Muslim prisoners. Or he can ask for the money and freedom, or he can free them for, like the Messenger of Allah did when the Battle of Badr. Or one of the battles, he freed the whole, everyone, he freed them. Okay? So we're not talking about slavery. Okay, the other thing that, of course, in the Bible clearly, many passages encourage the Israelites to go and enslave people. It's well known, well established, you cannot deny it. So my main point here, I want to take it back because I don't want to go too many things. When God, according to Genesis, when God said to Moses to kill babies and to kill a man and a woman, in another passage which is in Leviticus or Numbers, to kill every woman slept with a man, was he right, God, or was he wrong?
I already answered that, Shamsi.
No, you hasn't. You told me about the rabbi.
I'm
asking you simple.
I said, just like when the slave, just so it's very clear, because you obviously didn't.
Yeah, was he right or wrong? That's what I want to know.
So I'm going to answer.
Go on.
Again, I don't dictate how you answer. You allow me to answer in my own words.
As long as you ask the question.
Yeah.
Yes,
please. So, just as I said, the institution of slavery is immoral. I believe it. What does moral mean? What is moral? What
moral means something which like
right or wrong?
Right, yeah. Who's right?
And so when I'm saying that slavery is immoral, what am I saying?
So who's right?
No, immoral.
Immoral is wrong.
Yeah, so I'm saying that slavery is immoral. When I say that capital punishment is immoral,
so
what
God
am I saying?
wrong. That's my question.
So you have to show me where God says that.
Okay,
Genesis
19:20.
Shamsi, even further
No, I have
than
to show you. You have to show you.
No.
Spit it off.
But what I want to go to, you said in the Quran.
Before we go to anywhere else, I'll let you speak for long. You know, I want to answer my question, which I started, and I was gonna stop you because I know many people don't know when you're debating and having a discussion or having a dialogue. You have to know how to stop a person before he goes off to China or a different country. Because otherwise you start talking about China. We're not talking about China to begin with.
Shamsi, with the greatest respect, that's what you did because
you
were talking about Medina.
I'll tell you
and you've run away to Israel.
No, I didn't. You know what I did? What happened in Medina? Sa'd ibn Mu'adh.
Shamsi, you dictate the way the debate works. You dictate how an answer can be given.
No, I'm not dictating.
You are.
I'm just asking you, Joseph.
So I go to answer you in my words, and you say no. You have to answer this way.
Okay,
I say we're talking about Mecca and Medina. You say no. We're talking about Israel.
Okay, let me justify that. When you talk about Medina, you keep saying Mecca and Medina. You talk about Medina. Okay. The reason I mentioned the Old Testament because if you know the story of Medina correctly, what Sa'd ibn Mu'adh said. Sa'd ibn Mu'adh said, your judgment, oh Sa'd, Prophet Muhammad said to Sa'd, your judgment is according to Allah's judgment. The Muslim scholar said that judgment exactly what is being mentioned in the Old Testament. That when you go to a city and you besiege the village or the city, then what you do, you kill every man, okay? And you spare the rest because they are children or they are women, which is in Islam and Allah.
You don't spare them, you capture them.
Yeah,
you keep the women as spoils.
Yeah, yeah. You take care of them without any doubt.
No, not take care of them. You keep them as spoils.
Bro, what is spoil? No, listen. Again, I'm very concise when it comes to terms that has been used in English language. What does it mean, spoils?
It means it's the property of the person who acquires them. Like Sophia as an example. How did Sophia come to be Muhammad's wife?
Because her husband and the people of Safiya waged a war against the Messenger of Allah. So if Rasulullah left them, who's going to take care of them?
No. What happened first? What happens before then?
I said
Before
they waged a war against him.
Who first picked Sophia?
Who first picked Safiya?
Who first picked Sophia?
Someone else picked Safiya, Sahabi.
Yeah. And then what happened?
The Sahabi came to Messenger of Allah because she was a woman with honor and with status. He said, does not befit no one except your Messenger of Allah.
So
wait. Again, you're missing the point. The point here is that, but let us understand correctly. Again, the slavery, we don't believe this term, okay? Again, when
can you beat your slave?
Allow me to finish. Again, according to the Bible, you can even do whatever you like. You can treat them like animals. Exactly. Step by step. He asked me.
Shamsi.
I'll let him speak for long. Look at how he's doing. Come on.
Where in the Bible does it say all the things you're claiming?
He's not allowing me to finish.
Okay.
That's why he's here.
Where?
It's coming to you. Are you Christian, by the way, or Jew?
It's irrelevant.
It is irrelevant because if you're Jewish, you're gonna get a heart attack. What is it?
I'm just waiting for something good for Hebrew.
No. Is it?
While you're looking up that, Shamsi, I'll say my points, okay?
No. You can't bring another point.
Okay, no, but it's just a
Go.
Brother
God
Shamsi.
sent Moses to
Direct
2021.
Brother Shamsi, can you give me 1 second?
No, we're in the middle of a debate.
Take a picture for Singapore.
Wallah, I don't like pictures. Wallah, I'm the one. I don't know how people take pictures. I don't like this, you know.
Just for Singapore.
Wallah, I don't
Shamsi,
like
how
it.
much did you pay him to do this?
Thank you.
That when God told Moses to go besiege 2021, I believe.
Okay, so Shamsi, while you're looking up
When it's
that,
the law of the war.
What?
The law of the war.
while you're looking up
The
that,
law
I'm
of
going
the
to read
war.
a few of my quotes. Yeah, he's looking at that.
So my point, look, I'm asking you simply. You haven't answered my question, Joseph.
I've answered every single
No,
time.
Joseph.
If you haven't understood my point, that's not my
Joseph.
fault.
Joseph,
The
the question.
question is it right or wrong for the Jews to
I did ask that. Was God right when he said to do
You're
it?
saying God said to do it, yeah?
Yes, was he right?
So he's saying God said to do it.
Yeah, was
and
he
I'm
right?
saying, show me the source.
I'm gonna show you.
Yeah, and so-
But my question, was he right if he said it?
So again, when I read the source, I'll respond. Until you bring the source, I'm not going to respond.
It's here. It's here. Look.
What verse
No,
is it?
therefore
The-
kill every male among the little ones,
So how-
and kill every woman that had known man by
So I'm
laying
gonna
with
go to
him.
the Hebrew.
Yes, go. So now, who's read it? You can read it as well.
But he's going to the Hebrew.
Yeah. No, even go to the old Hebrew. It's going to help you. Because so clear.
What was it? 31:17.
There's another one which is Akhi.
Numbers 31:17, 18.
And someone get us a Bible if you can. Ask one of the brothers, because the low one is exactly what Sa'd ibn Mu'adh did in Medina. Exactly when he besieged them. That's why the ulama said what Sa'd ibn Mu'adh did was exactly according to the Old Testament. However, the Christians here, they have no problem when the Israelites kill babies and children. Like what the Jewish. But they have a God to come and speak against our beloved Prophet Muhammad. I'm here to defend his honor. Nothing he did except that was a pure goodness.